Welcome to Unforbidden Truth. I'm Andrew. Today I'll be speaking with convicted sex offender Wendy Holland. In December 2014, Wendy Holland, a 35-year-old woman from Alabama, was convicted of multiple serious felonies, including sodomy, sexual abuse, sexual torture, and child endangerment, stemming from her participation in an incestuous child sex ring that allegedly involved relatives and family friends sexually abusing children over several years. The case was uncovered in part of the 2012 disappearance of her 19-year-old niece, Brittney Wood, who was last seen with Wendy's husband and remains missing and presumed dead. Authorities arrested Wendy and 10 others on various sex crime charges during the investigation. At her sentencing in January 2015, the judge presiding over the case imposed a 219-year prison term stemming from the crimes committed in Mobile, plus an additional 10 years for the crimes she committed in Baldwin County, equaling a 229-year prison sentence for her role in the sex ring. Wendy Holland is expected to spend the rest of her life incarcerated. Here's my interview with convicted sex offender Wendy Wood Holland.
Wendy Holland. I'm from Mobile, Alabama.
Can you recall any positive memories that stick out to you from your childhood?
We just traveled a lot because my daddy was a construction worker, so we used to live in Texas, and then we moved to Mobile. So.
Can you recall any negative memories that stick out to you from your childhood?
No.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 3 sisters and a brother.
Are you close with them?
One of my sisters I am, but the other ones, no.
Did you suffer any type of childhood abuse or trauma growing up?
No.
What was your behavior like at home growing up?
Well, we was a good kid. We was kind of spoiled.
What was your behavior like in school, focusing more on your middle school and high school years growing up?
It was good. I mean, never got in trouble, never got suspended or nothing.
Did you graduate high school?
Yeah.
Did you engage in any criminal activity as a juvenile?
No.
What was life like for you in the free world prior to becoming incarcerated?
I mean, it was good up till, I got married, and then once I got married, I started having kids, but my husband, he wasn't a married type, but, he was the type that I wanted to leave him, but I couldn't because of my kids. Because, he was doing all kind of stuff he wasn't supposed to be doing.
For somebody who hadn't met your husband, how would you describe him? I know he's since passed away, hasn't he?
Yeah, supposedly committed suicide. Right now the photo, but, called him like a class, a clown, a jokester. He was fine until, he got behind closed doors, but other than that, anybody just meeting him, he was a good person.
When you say he was different behind closed doors, are you alluding to the fact that he was abusive towards you or others?
Yeah, he's the one that molested my daughter.
Okay.
Supposed to commit suicide and keep from getting locked up.
Yeah, and we'll talk about him more in a little bit, but circling back, did you engage in any type of criminal activity as an adult prior to the case you're serving time for now?
No.
So did you say you had 2 children together? Or was it 3?
We got 3.
Was it only one of your children that was involved in this case? I believe one of them testified against you and your sister in court, correct?
Right.
So I've seen multiple articles stating you're serving 215 years in prison, 233 years in prison, and 218 years in prison. Which are you serving currently?
218. Well, I had the 218, and then they sentenced me to 5, and then my bill sentenced me to 10. But the 5 and the 10, I'm through with them, so I just got the 218 left.
And is it correct that you have to serve 50 years in prison before being eligible for parole in Alabama?
No, it's not right.
Oh, wow. Okay, so what's the deal with that? How long until you're eligible for parole with your sentence?
Actually, with sex offenders, I say out of 1 year, but if you're charged with a sex offense, you're barred from parole. You're not even eligible for parole.
Okay, so essentially you're basically serving life without the possibility of parole.
Yeah, might as well say.
So let's talk about the case you're in prison for now. The prosecution claims there was a child sex ring that was going on within your family, and your late husband was the ringleader of the sex ring. Is there any truth to these claims? I know you said he had molested your daughter.
No, the only one that really known that he molested was my daughter, so.
Okay, so you don't know if he had any other victims out there that you're aware of?
No. Because he kept my daughter a secret. I didn't even know nothing about her until she came forward, and then he denied everything, so.
Okay, so he never had admitted to you that he had abused your daughter or anybody else for that matter?
All right, I never knew nothing.
So before I ask you this next question, I want you to tell me who Billy Brownlee is, just for context for those who are listening who might not know who he is, in reference to this case.
He's my related husband, best childhood friend. They grew up together.
Okay, so the reason I asked that is because it's been said that Billy was terrified of Donnie, and Billy claims he had been molested by Donnie. Is there any truth to those claims that you know of?
No, that's not true.
Okay.
Because he used to come over our house all the time.
So you've proclaimed to be innocent from day one, is that correct?
Correct.
So I want to talk about what's been said, what was used by prosecution in court. I went over some testimony that was given by your daughter Dee Dee about the alleged abuse she claims she went through. I'm reading from caselaw.findalaw. This is actually from Brownlee versus Alabama. It says, DDH was 16 years old at the time of the trial. She testified she had been reportedly sexually assaulted by both parents throughout her life. When asked how long the abuse had gone on, DDH testified, "There's not a time I don't remember." I want to read one more piece before I get your thoughts on this. DDH said that her parents allowed other people to sexually abuse her, including William Brownlee, a friend of DDH's father. What are your thoughts on the testimony that claims that Donnie and yourself abused her for quite some time?
I mean, that's not true. I mean, to me, I believe she was brainwashed because when this first came out, she told the DHO investigator in Washington County that I didn't have nothing to do with it. I didn't know nothing about it. And then when she moved in with my sister-in-law, that's when she started saying I had something to do with it. So I believe that she was brainwashed.
If none of this is true, who or what do you think prompted her to tell these stories about not only yourself, your sister, and others relating to a child sex ring that was said to have taken place in your family?
My sister-in-law and maybe her stepsister.
How old was your daughter Dee Dee at the time when this abuse was said to have taken place? How old was she when she was starting to give statements? I know she's quite older now, but I just want to ask how old she was at the time.
I think she was about 14, 15.
Okay.
Because it went through a while before we even went to trial,
So it's been said that a woman named Jennifer Moore had taken video and photos of children being abused in relation to your trial. Do you know if there's any truth to this? Do you know if Jennifer Moore was taking photos and videos of kids being abused?
I haven't heard about that, but I mean, I don't know about her children.
Besides your daughter, do you know anybody at the time that was underage that was said to have been abused, whether you heard it firsthand or you knew of it at the time?
Yeah, there was all my family members and family friends.
Do you know the name of the person who's been named unknown in this case in regard to your sister's case and your case and other cases related to this child sex ring?
No.
Do you know a Cece in regard to this case, who Cece is?
No, I don't know.
So what did the trial look like to you from your point of view?
A bunch of he said, she said. That the like the state might have talked them into testifying. Because they didn't have no evidence, no nothing.
From your point of view, what evidence was used to convict both you and your sister? Do you remember what was used at trial?
No, they didn't have no evidence at all. It's just people getting up there testifying.
Okay, so like affidavits and statements and stuff like that?
Right.
Okay. Were you on trial alongside with your sister, or were you two tried separately?
Separately.
Were you offered any type of plea deal before going to trial?
Yeah, I was asked for 80 years, and I turned it down.
Due to the high-profile status of your case and the media coverage at the time, were you housed away from other female offenders while you were on trial?
No, we was only one I was locked up with was my sister, and they kept us separated.
Okay, so you were like in isolation, but in different cells to where you can talk to her or communicate with her if you needed to?
We was out in population, but We was in different areas of the jail.
So after you were convicted and received your sentence, which was essentially multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole, how did you react emotionally that day?
I mean, I was upset, angry.
So nowadays, how do you spend your time in prison?
Working all the time.
What do you do for work?
I mean, I'm a canteen worker. I'm a clarification runner. I work in the kitchen. I cook bread. I do all kinds of work here.
Do you get to talk to your sister Mendy?
Yes, my sister's actually in the same dorm as I am.
So is there anything that you would like the public to know about yourself, your sister, or this case that they already don't know that isn't public information?
I mean, that I'm innocent. I didn't do what I was accused of.
So what do you think happened to your niece, Brittney Wood? I know she's been in the media for over a decade now since her disappearance. What are your thoughts on what happened to her? Do you have any theories or...
To me, honestly, I think she's the one that shot my husband, and Baldwin County investigators covered up that incident, and they had her in hiding, or she just they let her just go take off.
It's interesting you say that because I've seen many theories online, from her being in witness protection to Donnie being responsible for her disappearance. But of course, these are all internet sleuths and random people online voicing their opinions.
Yeah, because the way he was shot was like behind his ear, and he was sitting in my Suburban. So when he shot himself behind his ear, the gun should have fell in the floorboard, but it was actually up under his leg in the front floorboard. And then the investigators never did come check his hands for gun residue. They said they had enough evidence to say it was suicide.
Okay, so his death is a closed case. It's been considered a suicide by law enforcement.
All right.
So do you know why Wilmore Turner had changed his name?
Well, no, I don't.
Was he involved with Donnie that you know of?
Not that I know of.
One of the number one questions I see pop up online is why did Will contact Donnie before his suicide? Do you know why he had contacted him prior to him supposedly killing himself?
No, because as far as I know, I was the last one he talked to because he said that, because I called him and asked him where he was. Because he was supposed to come right back, and he told me that he loved me and my kids, and for Jennifer and Will to take care of me and my kids. And we asked him where he was, and he told us, and last thing I knew, that was the last time he talked to anybody.
Do you know how long it was before he passed away after that last phone call you two had?
It was like 3-4 hours before we even saw him, so before we even found him.
Oh, okay, but he was on the road driving at the time, correct?
No, he was in a secluded area.
Did he tell you why the mayor called him the day he had passed away?
No.
So it was both you and Jennifer that found Donnie's body, is that correct?
Well, he was still breathing when we found him. So he was in my Suburban.
So what, did he pass away at the hospital then, or did he pass away before he went to the hospital?
Yeah, he passed away at he shot himself June 1st, and he died June 4th. Because his sisters and I wanted him to be an organ donor, so they had to find the organs and test to make sure he could do all that.
So it's been said that there was things deleted off of Donnie's phone before Jennifer called Eric Winberg. Do you know if there's any truth to that?
No, it's not.
Do you know why Jennifer called Eric instead of 911 at first?
She was on her phone. I grabbed my phone out the vehicle that he was in. I called 911. And then when I called 911, after I got off the phone with them, I'm the one that called Eric Winberg.
What are your thoughts on Eric Winberg? What do you think of him?
I don't know, it's kind of iffy because, he was always there to have questions answered, or like Brittney's stepdad or dad, he always threatened me or whatever. I always told him. He was always if I had any problems, let him know. But when it came the trial, he wouldn't come to trial, but he did come talk to the judge and my lawyer. And then after that, he just left the Baldwin County Sheriff's Department, supposed to become a private investigator. I don't know how true that is. He just vanished.
So I heard that there was a search on Jennifer and Will Turner's house in Magnolia Springs, and they're waiting on DNA results to come back. What or who do you think is buried under there, if anything?
I have no clue.
Okay, because I've seen theories that people believe that that's where Brittney was killed and buried, but
I don't know how long they lived there at that house, but you know it could have been chickens or something that they could have done buried or something, or dogs or something. I don't know. But I don't know how long they lived there before they even moved there.
So you said you're not in contact with any of your children at all, correct?
I talk to my two boys, but I don't talk to Dee Dee. Well, Dee Dee, she raised me, but there's not like good letters. She's always asked about Brittney and her daddy, but other than that, I don't really talk to her, but I talk to my two boys all the time.
So before we conclude this interview, is there anything that you'd like to talk about that we haven't covered, or that you feel that is important to let the public know?
I mean, like William Brownlee, I mean, I believe he's guilty because when I was 18 years old, pregnant with Dee Dee, he tried raping me. So with him, I believe he's guilty because, I mean, his wife let him sleep with his own stepdaughter. So, I mean, to him, I believe he's guilty.
That was my interview with convicted sex offender Wendy Holland. Thank you for listening. See you on the next one.